Well, I screwed that up so bad
Why?
because you were listening to it backstage, but I wasn't live. So so my co-hosts, the ladies I adore, they got a chance to hear the Northeast Streaming Sports stuff, and they got the Captain Jack and Wenches show and all of the intro. But you all did listen to it, and I'm like, oh crap, I didn't go live yet. So apologies there. So I hope you enjoyed the intro, my ladies. I hope you enjoyed the intro, my ladies, which will always get you in that festive spirit.
That's right.
And we're good to go. Again, we are on Instagram over here. If you're on Instagram, you're just watching me. You can watch the entire show on YouTube. So make sure you are heading over to YouTube. As I just see that the Red Sox are now up 3-0, only because that's probably the only real sports that's going on right now. I figured I would interject with what's going on there. So the Yankees, unless they have Bucky Dent come off the bench to do some damage against the Red Sox, I don't foresee good things happening to them this evening. Again, we are joined by the Captain and Wenches show, and I want to give my wonderful superlatives to Vicky Ginn, who has another entry in the treasure chest of prizes, and I want to congratulate the winner of the treasure chest of prizes, and it's none other but Heidi Kevlar Prom Dress.
All right, Heidi, you won.
Yeah. You won, and it's like it's been a while. I did that spin like a little while ago, and I'm going to show you what you won. You won this, not the one I have,
with the keys too. You get the keys too.
You don't get my keys. If I give a young lady my keys, something's happening.
The keys to the Maserati. Come on,
come on, now. What kind of prize is that?
I got a Ford F-150 that I'm looking to do brand new on. So, but
how do you can do some damage with that, though, can't you? Get you an F-150 and
it would be perfect for an Alaskan winter.
That's right.
No, I've already promised it to the stepson, who is a Chargers fan, but because he does a lot for me, when I do upgrade and get a new truck, the old one is his. But this, without the keys, and again, not this one, a brand new one out of the treasure chest of prizes. And like I said, every time you give a donation, you're going to receive, every prize is worth more than $5. Most of them are worth like 10, 15. Autographs, pictures are worth a hell of a lot more. The jerseys, autographed jerseys are worth a lot. The what is it? The Jack Daniels. I don't even remember how much this is worth, but it's definitely worth more than $5 friggin' bucks.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely.
So remember, one winner, one prize. Kevlar Prom Dress was the winner of the last one. And remember, we're only doing like a 25 spot plus 5. So basically 30 people, and we're going to be rolling with that. So your chances get better. Vicky gives me like an entry every show. So she gets a lot of entries in there. And one of these days she's going to win.
Yes, she is.
She's going to win. But again,
she's going to get something big.
Yeah, like that Jack Daniels.
Only one of those available. Right
big as
now.
You get.
Yeah. Well, there is a Biletnikoff picture. There is the Damon Arnett signed jersey. We'll talk about Damon. We'll talk about Damon as well. Because there's some good things and bad things, but we need to talk about what we have. I want to say we are watching. I know Jack Ken is here. I think Jack Ken is over on the Chronicles channel, which is awesome. And we got a bunch of other people. Remember, I'm broadcasting on the Chronicles channel, my channel, along with Northeast Streaming Sports. So Northeast Streaming Sports, sorry you didn't get your intro tonight because I screwed that one up. But I want to say thanks to everybody. I see all of the salutes and everybody and Raider Nation. Hard game.
And we will be getting another wench in a few minutes.
Yes.
One of them had to go and corral little Jack. So
a biologically correct wench too.
That's correct. So what do we talk about tonight? I know everybody's dying for us to chomp at the bit, but I have to put on my Mrs. Killjoy face again, and I want to see that grimace, Captain Jack. I want to see it because Mrs. Killjoy told you.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted.
Pump the brakes.
That's what I wanted to talk about, because do you want me to be analytically negative before you go analytically negative, or who wants to be analytically negative first?
I don't want to be negative. I want to be real, and I think Heidi does too, and we all do. I mean, we were looking for this team to be a team that could A, put together a complete game, and B, dominate somebody either on offense or defense. None of those things happened. And we played some pretty tough teams. Our first 3 games were against top 10 defenses. So, I mean, the team, someone asked me today, do they have it in them? I said, of course they do. But now, what are we missing? Now, that's the part we can talk about tonight, Captain and Heidi. And I'm sure Angry is going to have something to chip in, because this is a team that has the potential, but it doesn't show up.
Right.
Why? Everybody wants to know why.
Is it their leadership, or
we got to start asking that question? And I'm a Gruden person, but now it's time to ask that question. It really is.
If you're a Gruden person, and again, I like John Gruden as far as the intangibles and the fire and the way that he gets the team to play for him. And again, folks, try not to swear, because I'm the one that has to do the cut-ups. I know the ladies don't, and it's taken every ounce of my innerness to say I can't furthermucking stand. See what I did there?
I saw the letters and the vowels being rearranged. Yeah, Go ahead.
I can't furthermucking stand the Gruden staunch. He's so furthermucking hard and old and conservative, and it pisses this old pirate off no end. Okay.
I mean, reduced to its simplest terms, a whole bunch of Raider fans agree with me. Gruden does not play chess very well.
Well, no, he's Gruden will. I tell you what, I bet you any money I know what the play call is on 3rd and 1.
I know.
Or 4th and 1.
You guys, I think it's really, really beyond that. I always don't look so much at the play call, but the execution. But now we got to think about the things that a coach is supposed to do to get his guys ready to play.
Well, you're speaking about execution. The old John McKay said, I'm all for it, the execution of the offense.
Right. And when you have a guy like Testaverde throwing 35 interceptions, why not? But I'm just saying, there's things that, I had to slip that in. There's things that we got to start asking on a very executive level about this team. Someone talked about heart. Someone talked about toughness. I mean, you're a pro player. You do not come out there flat as a pancake 2 weeks in a row, strolling around like nothing could be wrong. Don't score any points in the first quarter. And Heidi, please correct me, because you're my conscience here. Weren't we complaining about the fact that after 2018 and 19 that they weren't scoring in the fourth quarter? Wasn't that the complaint, that they came out in the second half flat, right?
Yeah. They definitely came out in the second half flat for a few years. And now it's, you can't spot a team like the Chargers 21 points and expect to come back. It's ridiculous.
So at least, they had been spotting teams 14, so they wanted to change it up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They wanted to change it up. So no, we're gonna spot them 21. And to that, and I agree. And I said it, and Peggy said it, and Heidi said it. You can't do it against good teams. And by the way, I will give the link in a minute. By the way, I want to say that we are joined tonight over there on Instagram by Stuart Schweigert. And Stuart, the Raider, the Raider.
Hi, Stuart.
Stuart, like I said, Stuart, come on over to YouTube, and I'll put the link up. And Stuart to come in. And remember, all of our wenches are going to be here tonight eventually. So we're going to have a quad board of the old salt and 3 good-looking wenches. Okay. And Daniel, that does not include you. If you come in late,
not at all.
Right. When Peggy leaves, and Peggy unfortunately is it's like Peggy is like Beetlejuice. It's like, remember how I can only do one of these a night. Peggy can only do an hour, but that's the greatest hour we're ever going to have with her, and we love her for it. So,
but Captain Jack, we have to start that list, and I'm not going to take the thunder. I want Angry to be here when we start talking about that O-line. But first, I want to talk about preparation and game planning, executive skills, and see, me being a Gruden person. Now, what did Della Reese say in that movie? Now I got to cut you. See, a head coach's main job is to get his team ready to play. I don't see any evidence that the Raiders know who they're playing and have not only a plan A, but a plan B if they stop you. Mm-hmm. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we may have seen little of adjustment in the third quarter, but the Chargers were so on top of us that they adjusted. So our fourth quarter was miserable again.
Right.
We don't do that. We don't adjust quarter to quarter. That's Gruden.
Yeah. And for a while, it was the third quarter where we were really, really flat. That was awful a couple of years back. But you should, at the very least, be able to go into the game prepared. It's one thing to fail at adjustments. That's inexcusable as well. But to just even start the game being so unprepared, it's absolutely unacceptable. And that's the way it is right now. That's the way it's been the entire season.
What do you think Gruden's doing during the week? If you start watching films, start getting with his staff to prepare for the game, what is he doing? What do you think, Captain? What is he up to?
What, Gruden?
Yeah, during the week. If he's definitely, there's no evidence that he's preparing the team for the game.
Well,
the last 2 weeks.
I will say this. I think that Gruden is definitely a better preparer of the team than one Jack Del Rio ever was.
Oh, God.
Okay. I will give him that. Gruden has that bank that maybe it takes him until Thursday to start doing the game plan because people are off Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Maybe he's still counting that cash from that contract. And I know if I was him, I would be, but maybe I would be able to multitask, be able to count the cash and still do a game plan. What I really want Gruden to do, and I've been saying it, we need an offensive coordinator, and I'm not talking about Olsen.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
We need an offensive coordinator that holds the salt, that has respect, that is innovative, that is newer, that is relevant. I know for all the people that are saying, but the offense worked, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, it did. But I
figured it out.
Worked in spite of what John was putting out there. And, we saw, and again, I'm not gonna try to steal thunder, but we saw what no running game will get you. And we also saw, and by the way, Jack Ken, I did put it up for everybody. Shout out to John Emmanuel Navarro and Jesse Rodas, great guys. And Jack Kenna is as well, and we appreciate all the folks there. But like I said, We see what he wants to establish the run. I get it. But when the run isn't working, he still is so damn stuck on it. It's like he's still feeding the ball when there are no holes there. The Raider offensive line, guard to guard, is really not the greatest. And again, I know that there's problems at right tackle, but the kid will get it. And
Yeah.
I mean, give him some time. But the thing is that Gruden doesn't help him out. Gruden does not have that tight end chip. Gruden does not have that that running back chip before he goes out, or maybe the running back is consumed. I tell you what, because I tell you that blitz that they were running every time, it was like that late blitz that the linebacker would come in with when Bosa was being occupied. That linebacker would come in, and you know, the fact is that Carr is still in one piece right now is a testament to Carr being able to jackrabbit back there. But again, I'm not going to say anything more about the offensive line until Angry gets in here.
Yeah, I still want to talk about the fact that you knew coming in that the Chargers were 32nd against the run, 510 yards given up in the last 3 games. You knew that one of the best ways to keep one of the best quarterbacks in the league off the field, Herbert, was time of possession. You had to run that football. Now, the film must have told you where the Charger weakness of, what side they were giving it on, what players were giving up those kinds of yards. 510 yards, 32 ranking. It was an invitation to run the football, yet we could not do it. And it wasn't just O-line. It was we didn't know where to attack. That goes to preparation and planning. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Who was looking at who saw where the Chargers' weaknesses were. And, you know, I don't care if you have to put an extra tight end. You attack those points. You keep probing and attacking, and something got to give, because those boys didn't give up 510 yards rushing to just anybody. They gave them up to mediocre running teams. And I do not understand why. And also, let's talk about the non-presence of Barber, who gave us 111 yards last game.
Which seems like last year, the way that they were playing.
I know, but Barber gave us 111 yards, 70 or something of them in the second half, but nevertheless, our first 100-yard running game of the year.
Yeah.
We didn't see Jalen Richard, who got activated off of IR. We didn't see much of Drake at all. I mean, I thought Drake was brought in to be Jacob's backup because we know how fragile he is. I'm being kind. So now I'm trying to figure out why weren't any of them used to establish that run that Captain Jack just said Gruden would not let go of.
I'm not sure it would have made that much of a difference who the running back was. I'm not sure if Christian McCaffrey would have made that much of a difference. You can't run into a brick wall.
Right. I think the only person that would have helped would have been Christian Okoye or Ricky Williams in his prime, or Earl Campbell in his prime, Jim Brown in his prime. You get where I'm going with this, okay? Guys that will run over people even when they are stacked up. And that's the truth. These guys, you know, Jacobs, and I'm still pissed. I understand that you only have X amount of games a year, and if this guy says he's ready to play, he's ready to play. Jacobs was not ready to play. And I would rather have a Barber that was available and ready and healthy than a Jacobs that gutted it out. I give him due the fact that he wants to be there, but I'd rather play a Barber that maybe would be able to make those plants and stutters on a healthy kick where Jacobs is not healthy.
No. And am I understanding, Heidi, correct me, is it turf toe or something? Are we talking a turf toe injury? What's wrong
they're
with
being
Jacob?
very vague on it. It's a combination ankle and turf toe. They're
Oh
trying
my
to avoid the
God.
turf toe label so it doesn't sound as bad. But the thing is, he's injured and he's going to be injured for a while. I don't
That's
think
turf
that this is
toe.
something that he's going to get over in a week or two. It's going to take a while. And
Yeah.
with our offensive line, that's not helping him at all.
Well,
Our offensive line sucks.
but Barber was able to get 111 yards against the Miami Dolphins, number 7 against the run. I know it's early in the season, and rankings probably don't matter too much. But when you see something on a film that's a weakness, I mean, you'd be crazy not to exploit it. I'm just mystified, and we will talk more about this O-line. I'm hoping Angry gets here, but I'm still going back to preparation. You know, between Waller, Edwards, and Ruggs, did they have 10 catches last night? Between the three of them.
I don't think so.
If they did, it wasn't
Well,
much
I do
more
not
than
believe
that.
so.
I'm pretty sure that they didn't.
Yeah. I
That,
think, yeah, maybe a combined, but I still think it was under 10.
I mean, if these guys are suddenly becoming a brick wall and putting pressure on that O-line, there's got to be stuff intermediate range. There's got to be stuff available. 3 guys who've been tearing it up for the last 3 weeks. Carson spreading around everybody. We couldn't even get 10 catches out of 3 people.
Yeah.
Brian Edwards was totally missed MIA. I have to say, I don't know whether Chargers did a great job of scouting us.
Yeah.
I hate to give anybody in the AFC West any props, but they absolutely did a great job in scouting us. Brian Edwards was just MIA. Waller, I mean, sometimes he was open. Great, you're not going to shut Waller down 4 quarters. He's just too good. Ruggs, we got some nice shots at Ruggs.
Edwards had 1 catch for 4 yards. Ruggs had 3 catches for 60, and Waller had 4 catches for 50.
Not even 10 catches.
Right. Renfro had 6.
One game with Waller, he has 10 catches. I mean, they did a fantastic job of figuring out where we were getting our bread and butter production from, and they shut it down, but they also shut the run down. But I have to think it has something to do with that O-line. The O-line helped a lot. I don't know. I want to say something good about last night's performance. I like the fact that they took shots at Ruggs deep. Didn't they take 2 or 3, didn't they?
Yeah.
I liked it. And they hit 1, didn't they? Deep. And they got to continue to do that. They really, really, if they had been able to do more, if Carr just had enough time, they would have eventually shook those safeties loose from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think they hit 1 deep, 1 was pass interference, and I think 1 was just overthrown.
Oh, I remember the PI, which is always great. I mean, it's a completion in my eyes. I have to say they are taking a lot of chance. Carr's trusting Ruggs more. You gotta like that. But there just wasn't enough to make the safety say, maybe I better back up off and do coverage. The safeties never had a reason. And they just played the perfect game defensively. Eckler has always been a problem for us, Heidi. I believe so. I mean, the way he runs, CMC style, the guy just can do everything.
Yeah, and we couldn't stop him at all.
Yeah, and just so we won't have to talk about the O-line, all those folks out there, defense has turned a corner, this, that, and the other. Folks, I'm only looking at one stat, and that's points allowed. Points allowed. Last week, we gave them a pass. They only allowed 21, even though the final score was 28 because of the pick 6. This week, they marched on them, 28. They were moving us out of the way. We had some moments that kept it from being 40. It kept the Chargers from scoring 40 points instead of 28. We had some moments where the D-line really put some great pressure on Herbert and got some sacks. But it's never enough for this defense. They're still, just like the offense, there's still something gumming up the works of them putting together a complete game and them being able to dominate somebody.
And don't worry, defense. We're going to talk about the Bears sometime. We'll talk about them. And yeah, we're ready for the return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. And I can carry it, Tim.
I know, Peggy, that you don't accept it as an excuse as far as the defense being gassed. But in the first half, they almost had time of possession of 2-1. It was like 19 minutes and some seconds versus 10 minutes and some seconds. That killed the defense to start the game.
We had 2 injuries at corner. Arnett.
Three. I just don't remember who.
Yeah, Arnett for sure.
Well, Mullen was out. Arnett went out. And people were saying, whose bright idea was it for Amick Robertson to be on, the what? Who else?
He actually did okay.
Tell me about it. Keenan didn't blow us up.
Right.
Keenan didn't blow us up.
Neither
did Mike Williams.
Yeah, right. And Amick Robertson, I would play in front of Arnett 12 days a week.
Oh, yeah.
12 days a week.
Captain.
No.
Arnett, we might as well just throw the opposing team's jersey on him.
Oh, boy. And we're overdue we've been very patient with this young man. And he's had injuries now. We'll slow him down. He's spent a lot of time, him and his boy Okuda, on the other side, Ohio State. Sorry, Ohio State fans. But, let's face it, both of these boys have had a real rough time.
First off, it's the
Ohio State University.
The Ohio State
forgive me, I blaspheme.
In the NFL, the Suckeyes, because, again, I tell you, I will, if we ever again think, and I'm coming out, not out of the closet, I'm coming out finally saying, because I haven't said it, but I'm coming out and saying I don't want any more Ohio State cornerbacks. I have given up. I have given up, and this is horrible to say, but I've given up on Arnett. Now, if he comes back and plays well, that's great. But I've given up on him personally, and I don't give up on a lot of people, while they're still wearing our colors. But I've given up on Arnett. I really have.
I don't understand, because I heard, during the draft, didn't we hear all this hype about how these two guys spent all this time in a film room? I got it. Him and Okuda go together for me. They're the twins. They spent all this time in a film room. They spent time after practice working on technique. They even worked out with some pro wide receivers and all of this hype. Oh, somebody said Conley 2.0. Nope. He hasn't had shin splints yet. So he's not exactly Conley.
Yeah.
But the injuries, oh my, what is all that about? Oh boy, isn't there any way they can do something about finding out whether a guy is genetically, prone? There must be a way in sports medicine to tell either their tissue structure or something, whether a guy's going to stay injured more than he plays.
Kids these days don't know how to play through an injury.
Heidi, I didn't want to put my, Mike Dicker face on. My tough guy, but I'm with you.
Like someone like Max Crosby. Max Crosby, he plays through a broken hand. I broke my hand, wrap it up, put me back in, coach. So I'm not saying all the youngsters are like that. There are obviously some that definitely want to play. Yeah, want to play. But God, we happen to find a lot of softies. It's
I think it's their agents or even the union that tells them, don't ruin it for the other guys. If you're hurt, go on IR. If you're hurt, tell the coach so, you can go on the injury list and, don't put your body out there. This is a law. This is a marathon, right? You have to last 10 years. So you don't want to, burn yourself out in 3, playing through all these injuries. Look what happened to the old school guys, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's probably a combination of that too. The agents definitely, they don't want to lose their, they want this guy to last 10 years. They don't want him to, blow his career on an injury. Angria, we saved the O-line discussion. We
didn't you got here.
Detail till you got here. Yes,
so
we did. I know it.
You are special.
Well, Jack's here to weigh in. He just threw up when you guys were talking about the durability of these players right now. So we know his exact thoughts on it. Hey, I know. What's that?
I did not throw up. I wanted to, but I did not throw up. Well, little Jack.
Well, this one did.
Okay, little Jack might have. I did not throw
little
up.
Jack did. Yeah.
Angry, we got to get into that O-line.
Yes. Oh Lord, do we have to?
Yes, and you must start it off.
Well, little Jack has given his opinion already.
Yeah, his 2 cents are they suck. I knew we were going to lose this game. Let me just start that off by saying we don't have a run game and they don't have run defense. And when we see a defense versus a run game, neither of them that exist, well, defense wins. Usually it's pretty frequent. That happens often. But this O-line, I'm trying to think of a great analogy, some sort of a fantastic little one-liner that I can put on it, but it's just a hot mess. How many false start penalties is Alex Leatherwood going to get before we sit him down and say, look, you got to take a break. You're not getting paid this week, period. Andre James, I got to say, did not snap any balls over Derek Carr's heads. It was great. But the fact that we had, 4 sacks, right? Was it 4? Did I count right? I don't even remember. I stopped counting at 4.
Yeah.
Is sad because I saw Derek Carr get out of some sacks that he previously would not have gotten out of. And I was real happy to see that. But you know what? If we had a line that was able to defend him, that man would be throwing 500 yards a game right now. And we may have actually competed with the nonsense from last night. I'm not taking anything away from the Chargers because they are a good team, and I've been scared of them for a couple years now. They need to hit on all cylinders as well, and they're going to be the ones to contend with. The Chiefs are falling apart a little bit. I think people have figured them out, and that's fine. But at this point, we're 4 games into the season. We are 25% of the way through this season, and we've seen now what our O-line can do against a really good defense. And it has to be addressed immediately, period.
Jonathan Emmanuel Navarro, Gruden saying that he's not panicking about the O-line is actually Gruden speak for saying, I'm freaking panicking over the O-line.
Yeah,
he's panicking.
You cannot hide that kind of concern. The O-line makes the offense go. You can't substitute for that. You have to have, of course, concentration, focus, but you have to have execution, especially open up those running lanes. You cannot run the football. You become one-dimensional. They start pinning their ears back on you. I mean, I called it chum in the water. Captain Jack, you know what I'm talking about, being the captain of a ship. Oh, yeah. When a defense sees that your O-line is so, out of sorts and so porous, they're going to start gambling and blitzing and attacking. And that's exactly what they did.
I'm sorry. And they did that. I wanted to address the comment by Neil. Coleccio Simile, no.
He's not in football shape. I know that.
Exactly. He's not in football shape. He's over the hill and he's off injured. Fluker is a maybe, maybe on Fluker and Schwartz if he doesn't want too much money.
I was going to say, I like the idea of Schwartz. We desperately need help at guard.
Yeah.
And some would say right tackle. That's fine. But what really hurt us, and I said this in our first show, when Denzel Good went down.
You got it. Yeah.
That guy can play 3 positions. And I mean, he was solid, and I know they were counting on him to anchor that line.
Yeah, and to lose him the very first game out for the year really hurt.
That was a crushing blow, and those people that are ready to throw Cable, excuse my language, baby out with the bathwater, they need to understand that Cable had a plan coming into the season, and injuries. When was the last time we saw Incognito? Well,
beginning of last year.
Second game last year was last time we saw him. He missed 14 games in 2020, and we have yet to see him in 2021. I am so sorry, but when you have plans and they blow up in your face, you got to make new plans.
Okay, two other things. Rose said that, Rose, check the source on that, and she says she read somewhere we just signed a semi. I think that Rose, you might have read the article about 3 guys that we need to sign immediately, because I've read that article. Okay. I haven't seen anything about Osemele signing, but of all the people that were on that list, Osemele would be the last person I would sign.
Right. I would sign Schwartz definitely first.
I would sign Schwartz, then Fluker, of those people. Okay. And there is some talk, not from the staff, but there is some talk about moving Leatherwood into right guard,
where he belongs. I see. This is where I want to have a conversation. Where he belongs. That was the
question I was going to pose. What are our opinions on moving Leatherwood to right guard?
If you want to say that he's our right guard of the future, then you do it. If you haven't given up on him at tackle, then it's one of those propositions where it might be bad mentally. It all depends, because I think Leatherwood would make a fine right guard. I really do.
He played guard for 2 years.
Yeah,
for 2 years he won awards at guard. Now he also won him at tackle. I think that's the seduction. Yeah. We have a right tackle problem. The Raiders have not been able to fill that right tackle position for like ages. So they're always looking for a guy to solve their right tackle problem. But the fact of the matter is, the guy's a guard.
He did play tackle.
He played for 2 years. He
played left tackle. He didn't play right tackle.
Oh, he didn't play right tackle. Interesting.
No, he played left tackle at Bama, and he did play guard. And that's why I said he would be a fine addition, and is a fine addition to the offensive line. But you gotta remember, folks. Yeah, Alabama is a pro team. Yeah, I said it. Alabama is a professional football team playing in the SEC, and they are playing the highest level of competition of all of football. Yes, I am SEC biased, but it's true. And I defy anybody to tell me otherwise. The problem is that you are playing professionals, and you are playing people like Bosa and TJ Watt and the crew that they had up in Baltimore, which has got some really great ends. And I'm missing and Miami, who even the kids that they had on Miami, they're playing well. So the guys that he's up against, he's getting his lunch money taken away from him because they're not helping him.
Yeah, but who you going to slide over? Normally, the right guard slides over to help the right tackle. Or this is new, put a tight end out there to help him. But what are you going to do? I mean, I don't think Gruden has a lot of things in his playbook. Heavy jumbo packages elude him. I mean, these ideas, these 2 tight end sets, I would have thought he would have gravitated to them. But I don't know. Heidi, have you seen many 2 tight end formations? Even in obvious running downs, I don't see the 2 tight end formation.
You're going to do that? Throw Parker out there as an eligible tight end because the guy can run block.
Exactly. I mean,
and I would honestly say right now, I mean, not to destroy Leatherwood's confidence, because I don't want to do that. I think that he will get it. But personally, I think he belongs at guard. But I would almost rather see Brandon Parker out there at right tackle
exactly.
than Leatherwood right now.
Right now.
All right, now you're speaking craziness. This is how dire our situation is.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I agree. It is
That's
dire.
why I wanted to wait for you, Angria, to talk about this O-line. One other thing I want to say, and you know, I'm always a lawyer, pick it up from my rookies. Does people have in Raider Nation have amnesia? I mean, it is a singular thing that happens to this group of fans more than any other group of fans.
I swear.
They forget
oh my God.
the year that Colton Miller. The year that Colton Miller had in 2018. Has it been that long? It's 3 years too long to stretch back. 48
we live in this world.
PFF ranking. The guy was the next to the lowest left tackle in the league.
Hey,
32 sacks surrendered.
I know that they still. I know.
All in the first 8 games of the season.
I'm sorry.
When Colton was not injured, he actually did okay that year. The problem is he was injured for the entire year.
48.5 says I'm not playing well. Injured.
That first game, what was it, against the Broncos? He had Miller and what was it, Chubb coming after him.
He played. Oh, okay.
Yeah, he locked it down.
You all believe he did, but the professionals say that when you compare him to all left tackles, he didn't perform well, but I didn't expect him to. I had no expectation that my rookie was going to be a Quentin Nelson and stand out his first year. Those are rare guys. He did well enough, and then the next year he did well. It was like, wow. But he was in his proper position. He was playing the position he was born to play. And I
need to put my 2 cents in on that, because I am accepting apology baskets and cards and everything for all those people who were like, why didn't we draft Derwin? Blah, 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 blah. And look, now, just a couple years later, I said, just wait. You cannot put enough money into your O-line, period. You cannot. Because then you don't have people to stand up and you got nobody to block. Then you got to talk about putting double and triple tight sets in and using every single one of your running backs for pass protection. And it doesn't work that way.
Right.
Did you just throw in an F?
I mean, she's saying the truth. You have to.
Wait! I need to know, because did you throw it in quick and I almost missed it? Because I got to write it down.
I did not say any F-bombs, but you can write it down and go back and listen. I promise you.
Oh, okay.
I was being good.
I came
Nikki,
really,
you're absolutely
really
right.
close.
Will Jack says they played like crap.
Okay, no. It sounds.
You have to wait for your youngins to develop. I am sorry. People who are the people you hear loudest about Leatherwood are the ones that didn't want us to draft them in the first place. They were the same ones hollering when we made the pick. Oh my God, why did we pick him? Those are the same people, because they don't understand, like Angria just said, it's an investment.
Oh yeah.
It's not something that's going to pay you double the first year you invest. You're going to have to wait, and you're going to have to see how this guy works out. Colton worked out just fine.
And I have to say, let me just say on to Peggy's point earlier about, Colton, he didn't have a great rookie year, and he was hurt, but he tried so freaking hard. You could see that this man wanted to be better in his position. Some of these people, I don't know how we're going to get them better at their positions. I'm sorry that this little one is just not happy about this discussion, but
No, he
We're
just
gonna-
wants your
Are
attention.
you going to be an
You know
O-lineman
what
when you
that's
grow up,
about.
big boy?
Just wants to be number.
He knows.
He wants
He knows.
your
My
attention.
concern
Amen.
with Leatherwood, though, is this. In college, he was bad with penalties.
Yes, aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
He
rather
held
have an
so
aggressive
many
penalty.
times.
Yeah, I would rather have an aggressive penalty than a mental penalty.
Incognito.
Like false sport.
Look
Like
at
false starts.
incognito.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, it always looks bad on somebody when they haven't given you a reason to like their performance. Then all these things that they do just get on your nerves. You know, you just want to just get rid of, sit them down, sit them down. All right, that may be the case. But the fact of the matter is, if you sit them down, who are you going to stand up? You said Brandon
I don't
Parker,
think
right?
that's the answer. I don't think it's the answer to set him down, but I think it might be the answer to move him over to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I think Illuminor can play tackle. Okay,
And he's done okay.
Yeah, and he's done okay. He's not fantastic, but he's done okay. If you flip flop him, at least they have that familiarity of playing on the right side together. Okay, I think that if you want to get a better bang for the boost, I know that's not the proper connotation, but if you want to get a better bang out there, then you move Leatherwood to right guard, move Illuminor to right tackle, or if people are talking about drafting or not drafting, but picking up Schwartz, who plays right tackle, you have the issues there. And Schwartz has played in the division, so he knows that he out of Kansas City. I know Robert Bigler knows all about him. The fact that he's unsigned, there are a reason why people are unsigned. Okay, there's a reason why DJ Fluker's out there. There's a reason why Kelechi Osemele is out there.
Travelers, honey. Travelers.
Don't effing sign Kelechi Osemele. I hope that report is wrong.
Well,
I looked it up and I could not find anything that said that they were signed. I just saw a lot of people asking why we haven't called them.
Yeah, well, we might have called him and say, "Hey, Kelechi, are you still out there? Good. You stay that way, shipmate. You take care." Okay.
But let's talk a little bit more about fan dementia and not being able to look back at what we have tried for that right tackle position. We tried to move Penn, remember? From left tackle to right tackle. He had the worst season of his career, and everybody was ready to, you could see the torches and the mob outside forming. And I said to myself, but he's a left tackle. I don't care what anybody says. You see things, it's like you were right-handed and writing with your left hand from now on. You're learning how to do everything from a different side of your brain. Yeah. It's not as easy as people would like to say. Let's look at our other right tackle experiment that blew up in our faces. That boy from New England that thankfully is back malingering for them now.
Yeah, like I said, he's
Trent Brown.
He's on the not on the field list for them, but at least it's their money that they're wasting, not ours.
Exactly. I mean, he has a calf injury. This time it's the calf.
No.
Who was it? Wasn't it Coach Buckner that said, doesn't he just need more Skittles? He can rub some Skittles on it. Yeah. He'll be good to go after that. That man was the biggest waste of money. Here we went and thought we had somebody we could invest in, and that, you know what? He pancaked Khalil Mack. We got to look at that man. Yes, let's give him some money. And he shows up and doesn't want to work, and he just wants the freebies from the craft table. That's not acceptable.
I can pancake Khalil Mack once. And
you make a good point. You make a good point.
I can do it once. Mm-hmm. I might not do it any time after that. But I can do it. I guarantee you, at 56 and a half years old, I can pancake Khalil Mack at least once.
I bet you for $33 million a year, you'd try it twice.
But then,
maybe twice.
But then, Captain Jack, Heidi would have to take over your show for the next 5 games until you got out of attention.
Yeah. But you know what?
But we appreciate your effort, though.
I can do it. Now,
The dedication is second to none.
I'm an offensive lineman, damn it. I got that mentality. I can do it at least once. And you know what? And again, folks, at 56 and a half years old, I will go out and play anywhere on that offensive line. You want me to. You want me on that line. You need me
on that line.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Thank you. Somebody knows the movie.
But where I started this was we have been trying to solve our right tackle problem for some time. So the fact that we have been unsuccessful, we were unsuccessful during Jack Del Rio's time, unsuccessful during Dennis Allen's time. I mean, this predated Gruden. So now we're trying to make Leatherwood the fall guy. He's the latest of the Frankenstein experiments, okay? That's what I label him. I mean, you know, you're trying to make somebody something that they're not. And true right tackles, I guess they're devilishly hard to find for the Raiders. But that is the true issue on that side. And I wish people would stop beating on Leatherwood as if he caused the problem at left tackle. At right tackle.
Absolutely did not.
Another instance of the Raiders drafting someone and wanting to convert them.
Yes.
And it not working.
This one isn't quite as bad, though.
Yeah.
Not quite as bad. Now, so here's what.
Him over.
Oh, yeah, we can. That's exactly what I was just going to say. We can slide him over and we can continue to have the right tackle issue, but not continue to have a right guard issue. This is why this is the mentality I have right now. Why, at least we could have a little bit of a pocket instead of just, you know, it just falls right over. I don't need any more turnstiles over there, but I certainly don't need the whole right side of the line to be a barn door, because right now that's all they're doing. They're collapsing. They're scared. Leatherwood, I think he's so worried about a false start penalty that he's not seeing what's in front of him. Because you know, okay, if we move him over to where he's comfortable and convenient, he's going to play against defensive linemen, not necessarily the edge rushers, right? So he's going to be able to push out a little bit more. He's going to be able to break out a little bit more to help the offensive tackle so he can break off and block those edge defenders. Right now, he's so nervous about having to get off the line and beat Joey Bosa off the line, which, let's face it, not a lot of O-linemen can do, that he's causing stupid penalties. And I can't completely blame him for that. First, he's a rookie. Second, he's out of position. Third, he has no help over there either. So let's beat our heads. This is a Raider thing to do, though. Let's beat our heads against the wall and see when it's going to start working.
And that, in my remaining 2 minutes, we got to throw the center into the discussion. And Mr. James, angry, she's clutching her heart, Captain. Please,
Angria cries herself to sleep every single night, saying, "Rodney, Rodney, Rodney."
Hey! I'm sorry. James has got stuff to work on, but if you think Rodney Hudson is playing well this year, you might want to check the game tape, because he is not.
You're correct. I do need to check.
I have checked, and I've checked the Cardinals. As a matter of fact, they have actually been rotating him the last couple of games with another guy. So, but now that's what Raider fans have to come to grips with. Rodney's not here anymore. We don't.
But I still cry about it.
But Carr doesn't have that guy. He can safely put his hands up under him and know that everything's going to be all right.
He knew that crevice well.
Right. That was his guy.
It was warm. It was like home.
Exactly.
It made you feel like
now I am not touching this.
Wait a minute. Whole new ball game now, and then the long snaps, the shotgun snaps. You know, we talked about it going on ahead. People didn't see this in that game against Miami, but his hand was taped. His hand was fully taped. There was something wrong with his snapping hand that the Raiders didn't disclose. Now, he didn't do it this game. He was okay. Well, I know,
yeah.
But let's talk about people. Let's talk about people blasting right in on top of him, collapsing the pocket before Carr even takes his traditional 3 steps. People are blasting up the middle. People say it's the B gap. I saw them coming right over James. I mean, just moving him out of the way. That never
They were
happened
just like,
with
all right,
either.
and push. And he fell over. That's pretty much all that happened.
I mean, there were a couple of plays where Carr, I said, didn't even get a chance to take his 3 steps. And they were on him. And they came right over the middle. And see, that's something we're not accustomed to seeing as Raider fans.
Who was that number 44? What was it? What was his name? Fackrell. Was it Fackrell? He was dancing around our line all day long, and he would just skirt through, do whatever he wanted to do, and it just didn't bother. I mean, was he the one? He had 2 sacks on Carr, I think.
But
like
boom,
right in a row.
It was the scheme. It was the fact is that they would do a delayed blitz from the linebacker spot when Bosa was taking it. It was a fantastic scheme. And even the knucklehead on Monday Night Football, Riddick isn't a knucklehead, but the other 2 guys are. And unfortunately, one of those knuckleheads is the same last name as me. But trust me, I don't ever know being. He's not family.
He's not in your genetic pool at all.
Right. He might be a Levy, but he's not one of me. Okay, he's not a me. Okay, trust me, Steve Levy blows. Okay, and Greasy is right from under him as well. And yes, I said that deliberately. Point being, Riddick is the only person out there with like brains in that group. So the fact is that for the entire first half, I didn't hear the show because I was trying to get together my club down here in Tampa. Peggy, we'll talk about that. We're trying to bring the band back together. But so we were at a place, and unfortunately it was me plus one, and there was we were in the big room, so the sound wasn't available. And I'm glad, because I would probably have barfed if I had to listen to Steve Levy and Brian Greasy talk with not enough Louis Riddick for common sense. So it's actually a good thing I missed it. I missed the third quarter driving back from the bar to my house. I caught the radio broadcast right before we finally scored a touchdown. So how many minutes into that I didn't hear it, know, and then I got in front of the TV just in time for the fourth quarter. So I saw the first half sans sound. I missed most of the third quarter up until we got the touchdown, and I listened to the radio broadcast on that, listening to Brett Musburger. And the only reason why I knew it was a touchdown was because he said, "Jackpot!" Okay, I guess that's his touchdown Raiders equivalent. But the point is that there was a lot of things that were missed on the game, but I will make up for it. I didn't really need to see anything, knowing that the Raiders came back in the third quarter, but why they couldn't continue to do that in the fourth quarter.
Because they made the adjustment. And this is what I talked about Gruden not being a good chess player.
Yep.
People see what you're doing. That's why they pay people just to look at films and make notes. And then they develop their game plan for their notes. The last thing I'm going to say out of here to these fans who are only our friends when we're winning, to fans that only understand a rookie does not come from college to pro ready to play. This is not your PlayStation game where you plug in a lineup and you start pushing buttons. It don't work that way. Patience and intelligence is what win these games. And I've got it run, but I wish everybody the best of luck this week. Have a great week. And we're going to see what we do about the Bears, who, by the way, Nagy gave up his play calling duties today. Did you read it?
No, I missed it.
Oh, that should be fun.
Gruden probably needs to follow suit, but as Heidi said, we need to get a guy in that we can trust.
Hey, Peggy, you get your hair done. You get your hair did.
All right, we'll talk soon. Hello. But I gotta
Did you
go.
get your hair done, Peggy?
Yeah, we
It looks
always
nice.
changing ourselves,
It looks nice.
Got to do the new look every time to look fresh.
And I did comment on her earrings, folks. So don't tell me I didn't. But
Thank
that was
you.
pregame.
No, but her hair looks really good.
Thanks. We will be talking soon, and I'm so sorry I missed being on with you. Bye-bye from the kitchen.
Hi, Peggy. It's been great
Bye,
hearing you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right, we're back to our 4 screen. We still have 3 wenches with us. The one wench needs a shave. And no, it's not.
Dude, don't be mean to Heidi like that.
Oh,
I was hoping you couldn't tell.
No, you're in Alaska. Like you're a badass. I feel like a weak man talking to you. You live in Alaska. You're a badass.
So does Andrea.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
we're both
Andrea.
badasses.
Yeah, but you guys live in Alaska. Like, you got to be a hardy SOB to be there, you know?
Are you calling me fat?
Hardy to live in Alaska. You got to be tough.
Okay, stop being all sensitive. It was a joke.
okay.
Sensitive? Yeah, okay,
Sensitive.
I'm getting in touch with my sensitive
I
side.
don't need your explanations. I need you to give me crap.
Okay, I got crap for you.
Okay.
Look.
Jack
All right.
Hanna wanted OG. We got OG. So there you go, Jack. I like I said, I like to do a 4 screen at most, and I said Peggy has the first hour, and when Peggy can't show up, we have our other wench that, like I said, is a good looking wench as he is. I said that correctly.
She is not wearing her dress today, though, so I think she's disqualified.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Come here.
That show was done and that ship has sailed and you weren't there, so.
I very much was.
No, but you know what? I'm sorry. I've been watching all the negative Nancy's talk about our performance and all that stuff. We're 3-1 for God's sake. Hey, little guy, how you doing? Hey, yo, buddy, what's up? We're 3-1. We're not. It's not doomsday.
Okay.
We're in the easiest part of our schedule coming up, for God's sake. Lighten up. Oh, and by the way, Hunter Renfro is a hell of a middle linebacker.
Yeah, he is.
Boom! That was the best play of the game.
That was a
Period.
beautiful play.
Bar none. I will stick with my original assessment of him and say that he plays like he's 6 inches taller and 100 pounds heavier, because that man is not afraid to put his body on the line
Like
for
a
the Raiders.
substitute teacher, but he smacked that, he destroyed that trick play. I love it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, no,
He sniffed it out from the second it was going down too, and he knew where he needed to be.
It was not a trick play, though. It was not a trick play. It was the Raiders not having somebody on the guy. That was a Raiders screw up, and the punter saw it immediately, and then Renfro saw it and was Johnny on the spot. That wasn't a trick play. Punters are taught, if you got somebody that's uncovered, you go ahead and you throw it to him, because that is a first down.
I guess he should not have considered that man uncovered.
Hey,
Next time.
Hey, little Jack. Yo, little Jack. Hey, little man. Jack. Just remember, you get to pick out Mama's old folks home someday, bro. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. But no,
hey, buddy.
Play of the game, definitively Hunter Renfro. And I gotta pick out a jersey that I think that I'm getting, because I placed those bets at Caesars, and they said they give me like $150 for a jersey. And I'm debating right now. The two choices are Renfro and Max Crosby. And I've always stated that I'm not gonna buy a present person's jersey, but I'm alluded, or I'm allowed $150 for this jersey for the stock. And I'm kind of perplexed. Who do I want more? But if we're going by heart, then both of these guys are showing that they are the heart of this Raider team, Renfro and Max Crosby. And I tell you what, nobody is as more vital to this team winning than those two guys right there. And like I said, I'm not poo-pooing. I said I'm not a Debbie Downer, but people were, and I will say people, and they shall remain nameless, were saying, and they're blowing up my phone. They're blowing up my phone last night. Oh my God, I gotta talk. I can't wait to talk to OG about this team and how they are the second coming of the Raiders Super Bowl teams of the 70s. Yada, I know it's several people, and they were all saying the same thing about you. And I said, well, OG sees a lot of the positives, and that's why we were glossing over the negatives. But we know now that this team, well, we weren't going, 17-0 and 20-0. We knew that wasn't going to happen, and we got up against a better team last night that played better to scheme. I think that we will be able to take them the second game, providing that we have not as many injuries and we can play up to that. And I think that's the last game we play. Our last home game in Vegas, I believe, is the Chargers.
Our last home game is going. We need to split with them. Okay,
Right.
True story. Everybody else in the division's got to get swept. Okay, we do that. We're good, man. I'm not afraid. We're 3-1 in the first quarter, and we played 4 tough teams. Period. The next round, we got. I'm sorry. They say you shouldn't overlook anyone, but we got 4 jokes to beat. We ain't playing nobody in the next 4 games.
Can I just put a little 2 cents in here? I think it's funny. Jack Kenna asked for Captain OG question. I guess Heidi, you and I will sit this one out.
Hey, little Jack, why you pissed off, man? Little Jack.
I got the question, and I'm going to say, if we're talking for the Raiders, I can't think of any better slot receiver for the Raiders, but right off the top of my head. I can think of several slot receivers, and unfortunately, all of them played for the Cheatriots. And it's like Amendola, Wes Welker, and the other guy that does
Cole Beasley.
How many of them could play defense?
You don't like Cole Beasley? Are you telling me? Really?
No, in comparison to Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, and the other guy whose name escapes me, no.
Whose name escapes you? Which guy? Julian Edelman?
Could any of them play defense like Hunter Renfro?
Yeah, okay. Those 3 guys, and it was basically because of the system and the guy who's handling the ball. I don't know of any other better slot receiver. I'm not talking about a slot receiver that can make a great play on special teams, shipmate, because there is Renfro. But I'm talking about a better slot receiver. I'll take Amendola, Edelman, and Wes Welker hands down.
I'll take Renfro because he can play defense as a linebacker, come up and crack somebody, knock the ball out of their hands when they try to scumbag us with a trick play. And
it was not a trick play.
Are we talking about a current active player?
It was crap chicanery.
I guess I won't answer this question. So
go ahead.
No, it's a question for the captain and OG.
No, go ahead. Jack opened it up for everybody. I just made it.
What was
Jack,
the question again?
who is the best? Can you remember a better slot wide receiver? I said for the
No.
Raiders. I can't
No.
remember any of them for the Raiders. For the Raiders,
No.
Renfro is the only one that that even comes to mind. Okay, because you got to remember the only time we had a triumvirate of great receivers. Okay, we would have Branch and Bolitnikov, and then whoever the third receiver was, and I can't even I can't remember. Was it Morris? It might have been Morris Bradshaw during then, but I might be mixing generations there. And Morris is a fantastic guy, but for the Raiders. But right now, I'll take Renfro as the best slot receiver that the Raiders have had. And that's just because the Raiders normally didn't use a slot receiver as often. It was wide receiver, and fantastic tight ends.
But Renfro is a gift.
He is a gift
to this team. And when he went in there and went linebacker last night, I jumped out of my chair and lost it. I was losing my mind. I'm sorry. He looks like a substitute teacher. Great slot receiver, got a touchdown for us, and turned around, busted up some chicanery crap that the Chargers tried to pull on us in fourth down.
Yeah, and Jack agrees with me. He can't even remember a better slot receiver for the Raiders, and that's why I quantified my fact. Cole Beasley is a decent slot, but Cole Beasley now actually there are Bills fans that want to get rid of him because he's not playing up to par.
I'll take Renfro.
Well, I have to have qualifiers. That's why I didn't answer it, because he directed it to you and to OG, so I didn't ask follow-ups. Is he asking about current wide receivers? Is he asking about league-wide wide receivers? Is he asking about Raiders history? So...
Yeah, but you know what? Realistically, you should be able to chime in on that.
It was not a fake punt. It was not a fake punt. It was not a fake punt. It was not a fake punt.
Were they in punt formation, and did they punt?
I tell you
then
what,
it was a fake punt. Get him, Heidi.
I put y'all on mute because y'all effing deserve it. It was not a fake punt.
I unmuted myself.
And I remuted you. Okay, we can play this game. For the last time, it was a defensive special team screw up on the Raiders. And when the punter can see that a guy is uncovered, that is a free play. It wasn't a planned fake punt. It was not planned. Okay? So for anybody that thought it was a planned play, you need to get your fucking head examined. And yes, I
Write that down.
I am 112 because I can't stand ignorance.
Full of more crap than a Christmas turkey, bro.
I didn't say it was a planned fake punt.
A fake punt is a planned play. That wasn't
planned?
You know what? I like you guys too much to remove you all. Okay? And I could do that too. But I'm not doing it on this show. But it was not a planned from the jump fake punt. It was not like that. It was not. So anyway, don't piss off the old fucker who has a bad heart. 113.
Yeah, 138, bro. You write your stuff down because you're full of crap and you're
I'm not full of crap. I am not full of crap.
Well, you're an angry man.
I am an angry man because I am fucking correct. 114.
114, hit it, write it down.
You
got a lot of edits to do, and you're the only one cussing on the show.
Right. And I will take the edits on this one because I'm pissed. And I can't stand when I've explained the differences. Anyway, let's go beyond this. Let's go beyond this.
You explain all you want, Lucy.
And I'm fucking right. 114 again. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Mike, Sarah.
Can I ask?
I'm going to give you the Al Pacino from Son of a Woman. And Johnny, Billy, Mike, Sarah, fuck you too. 150.
Write that down.
Can I ask a favor of my co-hosts?
You're the one doing it.
Come on in there. Huh?
I gotta ask a favor. If you're not talking, if you're not making a point, can you mute your microphones? It's really hard to hear everybody. So if y'all can do that, like if you're not talking, like I'm trying to compete with us, so just a favor to ask, just so I can hear everybody.
Gotcha. I want to go on to the next game because we were alluding to it earlier, and we have a game, and again, OG seems to think that we're going to cruise the next 4 games, and that's why they play the games. No game is easy. The adage of every given Sunday or on any given Sunday, it remains true. Now, I will say that if you look at the schedule the way it's marked up right now, thank you, Vicky, for giving me. Vicky is giving me extra money for me swearing, I'm sure. Okay. If you look at the schedule, I would agree, and I'm sure you ladies would agree as well, that the way that they're lined up, okay, with the Bears, who are, it's a 50-50 game. Okay. It's a 50-50 game as far as what's going on. I like our chances against Denver a lot better, even though it's an away game. Okay. The Eagles at home, I really like that game in the win column.
Bye week.
Okay. Then we have the bye week. And then we have Kansas City.
No, we have the Giants.
Giants before Kansas City? Okay. And we got the Giants in New York. So, but let's look at the immediate future, ladies, and I'm going to mute my mic. What do you guys and gals, mates and wenches, thinks about the upcoming game that we have? And you can go ahead and extrapolate to the following game in Denver. Go ahead, Heidi, I'll start with you.
I think we've got a really good shot against the Bears. I don't believe in overlooking anyone and just assuming that they're all cakewalks. Word on the street is Andy Dalton will be starting if he is not injured. So that's definitely something that benefits us. I don't know. I just don't see overlooking them. We have to go in ready and passionate and planning for them, preparing for them, making sure that the players know what's going on, who they're playing, and what they need to do. And we can't start off slow again. We need to score. Not only do we need to score on the first drive, we need to score a touchdown on the first drive. We've gone 8-9 games without scoring a touchdown on the first drive. We need to punch them in the mouth and bloody their nose a little bit and let them know that we're there to play. Simple as that. And execute. It's a game that we should win. We would have no excuse losing, but it's a matter of putting it together and actually doing it. And I believe we totally can.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. Looks like now, as of right now, it says Mac is questionable. That can change. It's only Tuesday.
Yeah, David Montgomery. I guess he went on IR.
Yeah, and that's the running back. So he obviously there's first string running back, so that will affect them. But again, I like that as far as how it plays out. Mm-hmm. Okay. OG, you want that? You want next, or do you want Angry up next?
I want Angry up.
Okay.
Okay, well, there's both of us. I agree with Heidi 100%. We should never discount an opponent. However, this opponent has had their one win for the first quarter of the season. I don't think they're. Oh, I'm sorry. They've had two now. So the Bears are not a good team. The NFC North is becoming the NFC least. I know the Minnesota Vikings are really trying to make their way through there, and that's fine. But I don't think that division is a scary division unless you have a guy named Aaron Rodgers throwing a ball. I hate to keep having to say that, but I don't think the Bears is going to be a really difficult test for us. It does bode well the running game is done, because we saw last night how our run defense does not do very well against a competent running game. But the next 3 games, we should be able to rest up, get a pretty decent win. As Heidi says, if we go out and punch them in the face in the first drive, at least show that we can play a first quarter, then those teams should go down pretty handily. Our defense is doing a great job this year, especially considering what we've seen for the last 7 or 8 years on our defense. And Mike Sarah just said Mac won't miss this game. I beg to differ. I think he might. I think he might. So I see us doing a pretty decent job until our bye week. After that, we'll see what New York does. The Giants are the Giants. You just don't know who's going to show up on the field every week. So I have no clue what we're going to see from them. I would imagine they're going to still be continuing to dwell in the bottom. But what do we got? The Eagles, we got the Broncos, and the Bears next week. And I don't see any losses there. I really don't. And I'm going to be honest. I knew we were going to lose this last game. I knew it. Heidi has it on tape. It's somewhere. But these next 3 games are not going to be, on paper, logically, and given our performance so far this season, they are not going to be difficult games for us to be able to stand up and win.
Okay, I'll unmute myself. And again, the reason why I was muting you, OG, was not because of only because of what Angry was saying about the sound. So yeah, you're up there, shipmate. You are on the clock and golden, brother.
All right. So we got to face the Bears. Really? I don't even look at them as it's a practice game. We're going to smoke those guys. Then we get the Donkeys, who are the biggest pretenders in the NFL. Not according to Stephen A. Smith, but everybody else. They're a joke, and we're gonna destroy them. I know I'm not supposed to overlook blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm not a Raider. I'm not playing in the locker room. We've got the Bears, the Donkeys, and then who's next? The Eagles. Come on, man. That's 3. Then we get a bye week, and we're going to play the Giants. This is the easiest part of our schedule. A tough part of our schedule was this month. Another tough part's in November. This is the easy part. We're going to go 7-1. We go play the Chiefs. I'm not afraid of this team anymore. They're nothing. They're getting smoked. We smoked them last year, 1 game, and damn near smoked them a second. I see us going 9-1 before the tough part of the schedule comes up. But it just gives us reps, gives us time to gel, gives us time to get better. I'm not afraid of these teams. There's nothing coming up in the immediate future that's going to be anything. You know what I'm worried about? The Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Worried about the Browns. And we need to smack the Chargers on our final game to split the division. But we are going to the playoffs. I was 12-5 at the beginning of the season. In our worst case scenario, we will go 12-5. You see us going 13-4 and 14-3 for our ceiling. We are not going to fall like we have in the last few years. Our defense has been our liability. Now, our offense in the first half is our liability. We need to fix that. If we can fix that, no worries, bro. Nothing. We're going deep into the playoffs.
Okay, and I'll give you that, but I will say that I reserve the right to Goonie Google your ass if we lose any of these upcoming walkover games. Goonie Google your ass because you are saying, oh, this one's a cakewalk. This one is a practice game. We're going to run these guys out of the park. I think the same, but I'm not going to say that because you know, you got to play the game. And you don't know. Like last night, you don't know that we were going to drop Mullen and Arnett in a game.
Like dropping Arnett's a bad thing?
Okay, but still, okay? When you don't, I mean, I was about ready to take a flight out there to see if I can play cornerback at the time. And again, 56 and 250 pounds. And I run my 40 time is ran with a calendar. Okay.
I run a 4.340, 4 minutes and 30 seconds. But let me tell you something. If we go 3-1 the next quarter, are we bad?
No, but I'm just saying you have us going 7-1, actually 9-1 before we hit the Chiefs, correct?
8-1 or 7-1, right?
Okay, we'll see.
Okay, 6-2 we hit the Chiefs. In the next quarter we lose 2 games and go 8-4, and then the next quarter we go 4-1 again and go 3-1 again and go 11-5, and we finish up with 12-5. We're in the playoffs, bro.
If that happens, yes, we are. And the minute we win 9 games, I get a chance to turn in that ticket and get my bet that I threw in at Vegas that we were going to go over 8, and that's a winning ticket.
I wish I could do that. I'm in a state that doesn't allow the kind of betting I'd love to bet, or any kind of betting online. But I'm going to tell you right now, 12-5 is our bottom right now. That's playoffs.
I had us going 10-7 at the start of the year.
You still believe that?
I think that we can definitely do better. I hope we can do better.
I know we can do better.
But I had us at 10-7, so 3-1. I'm pretty content with that. If you would have told me at the start of the year that we would be 3-1, I would have been happy.
I'm thinking 12-5 is our bottom. We got the Chiefs twice, right? We got the Browns. We got the Chargers again.
Okay, let's not discount the Browns, okay? The Browns have been playing really well.
Worst case scenario, we lose to the Browns, the Chiefs twice, the Chargers. We're 12-5. We ain't playing
and then
nobody
we're
else.
going to have a trap game. We have a trap game every year. Sometimes we have 5 trap games that we should not lose, but we really do.
And
we should
Miami was a trap game. Miami was a trap game.
And you missed the Bengals. And the Bengals
are actually good.
The Bengals are the #1 team in the AFC North right now. Let's just make sure we remember that part of it.
And the Bengals are that trap game that I talked to everybody about before the season.
Are we going to lose to the Chiefs twice?
I don't think we are, but again,
I don't think we'll lose to the Chiefs at all at this point, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to come out and crap the bed.
Oh, you just put us at 14 and 3.
Jaguars a couple of years, like, you know, it's
If we didn't lose to the Chiefs
I think
twice,
a lot of this is superstition, and some older Raiders fans like Jack and myself don't want to say those words out loud because it makes it real, and if it's real in our minds, then it's not going to be real in the world.
I don't do superstition, Angria. I don't.
You're not a football fan, then.
No, I'm a baseball fan. I do superstition then, but realistically, if we sweep the Chiefs, you don't think we're gonna lose? You just said 13 and 4.
But we are going to have those 1 or 2 random games that we just fall flat on. We are.
We did it this week.
That was one of them.
This week was not a 1 or 2 random game that we fall flat. This was a team that beat us fair and square because they're a better team. That's the bottom line with the Chargers. They are the best team in the AFC West right now. They are the best team in the AFC West. Let me finish my point, and then you can do your drunken ramblings. We did fall flat in the first quarter. We did fall flat in the first half. But in the second half, we were looking like the team that we looked like over the last couple of weeks, where we had not lost a game where we were down 14 points before the half. Well, that's happened now. We lost the game because they were the better team. A trap game would have been if we lost to the Dolphins like we almost did, because they're not the better team. They have a decent defense. They really do. But we should have had that game in the bag early and often. However, we didn't. That's going to be what we need to be worried about with the Bears coming up, with the Eagles, with all these teams that want their 1 win. They want their 2 wins. They want their 3 wins on the schedule. And God bless that we took down the Raiders. And then that's when everybody comes out afterwards and says they were fakers. They were pretenders, not contenders.
Okay.
We fell flat
every single year.
Whoa. Okay, I got to get this out. Jack, you are watching on Chronicles of the Black Hole, which is why all of the chat that you are seeing in Chronicles of the Black Hole, you don't see anybody else's chat because it's on my YouTube channel. That's why you don't see the chat. I needed to get that out. So that's what it is. Okay. Jack is watching on Chronicles of the Black Hole, and we love him for watching, period. And thank you for interjecting. But that's the difference between all of the chat that's coming in is that says YouTube chat. It's because it's coming in on my channel, not Chronicles of the Black Hole. I wanted to say thank you on that as well. Go ahead.
We fell flat. Okay, we were flat. We got the lightning storm over a dome garbage, and then we were in a visiting team locker room that looks like a maze and all this other stuff John Gruden pointed out. I don't know what's going on, but we fell flat.
That's
at the first half of the game, as usual. They got us by 21, and we couldn't come back from it. Okay, I'm telling you, it's not going to be like that next time we play them. They got to come to our stadium.
Did they miss a touchdown? Didn't we only lose by 14?
We lost by 14. Yes. And
yeah. Okay.
We're not gonna. No, the next game they're gonna come to our stadium, and we got to split it. That's the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Split it. Everyone else we got to eliminate. But I'm seriously thinking that you even said that we're not going to lose to Kansas City. Well, you're predicting 13-4 versus or 14.
I said I don't think we will. But Kansas City has this amazing ability to do things that they're not supposed to be able to do. So I'm not gonna. I never, ever, ever call more than a 9-7. This year it'll be 9-8. That's all I'm giving us, because you know what? We can never assume anything at this point. The Chiefs look like they're crap right now, but do you know where they're ranked in all power rankings? They're ranked ahead of us, and there's a reason that people do that. The reason people do that is because, but let me finish. The reason people do that is because they see our flaws and they see what the Chiefs have been able to get themselves out of in the past. They see our flaws over the last couple of years. We've gone 2-0 and then straight down the tube. Okay, we got 3-1. We're doing really well. I think we're doing really well. But this game was a wake-up call. We are not what we want us to be yet. And we have a lot of work to do.
Are biased BS.
Whoa.
Bunch of information. It's pulled out of reporters.
Okay, I can do that. The reason why I did that is because we got a call, and we're gonna listen to Steve. Steve, you're on the line, partner. What do you got for everybody in the show tonight?
Okay, Captain, what do you think about this? The Raiders have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter. Is that discipline, or have they figured out John Gruden? He is a very mediocre coach, and when are we going to start holding Mike Mayock accountable for these reaches that he's done in the draft? Arnett is the question mark. We all want Arnett and Farrell to do well, but some of the drafting picks that he's done have not panned out. When are they going to be held accountable? And I'm tired of watching John Gruden playing it so close to the vest. Don't throw the ball deep. Don't make any mistakes. They're playing right in their hands. They figured this man out 2 years ago. What say you?
Okay, I'm gonna let the ladies, and that includes Daniel, answer first. Okay. And first off, I was going to say, I want you, Steve, I want you to give me a general manager that makes every pick correct.
They don't, but it seems like he sure took a lot of, reaches that they were saying, wait a minute, they could have gotten this guy later. Why did they pick this guy so high for?
Okay. The other thing is that I also defy you. Okay, who's got the extra sound on? Might be Daniel. Okay, I defy you to tell me when say, well, we could have had this guy later, or we could have traded this guy. We could have traded down. There are always circumstances we have to have two people to tango, and it wasn't there. And who's to say that guy would have been there? So all the people that say that can blow it out their tuchus. And yeah, I've had enough F's tonight, so that's why I'm watching my mouth. Okay. Point being is that Mike Mayock has done some stretches. Okay, got it. But I like the fact that Cleve Farrell is an important part of this defense. He might not have been up to for the number 4 pick. Maybe that there was somebody available that was better, but you know what? I like the fact of what he does. He's solid. We picked up Max Crosby later in that same draft, so that's a wash, okay? Arnett, not liking what I see with Arnett, but he was the best cornerback available after his buddy Acuna that Peggy Holmes was talking about, and both of them have been piss poor in the NFL to date. And the thing is that, we picked them in the first round. Well, we didn't have a second-round pick that year, and people keep effing forgetting that. They wanted to pick the best player available at a position of need. So I just got to differ with you on those points. Daniel, you want to come in and go ahead and say your views on the quote unquote stretches for the draft? Got to unmute Daniel. Got to unmute Daniel. There you go.
We pick like crap in the first round. We keep getting these idiots from the Ohio State University that are garbage. Gary and Conley and Damon Arnett. We do better after that. We get steals, bargain basement, killer steals. I mean, where are you expecting perfection? What team is drafted at perfection level? That part I don't get. Like, nobody's okay. The Donkeys picked a wide receiver after Henry Ruggs. There was supposed to be all that. What was his name? You're on mute, Jack.
Yeah, no, Judy. She
Judy.
got it.
Jerry Judy.
Oh yeah, Jerry Judy.
Jerry Judy.
Best
Stop.
route runner in the draft. Okay, he does videos and footwork, and he's got hands like cement. He can't catch nothing. Dude, Henry Ruggs is the best thing we got. We needed another Cliff Branch. He's starting to emerge. He didn't wait 2 years like Cliff Branch to become great. He's doing it this year. Dude, lighten up, man. We're doing our stuff. We're getting better.
I will interject this. There are 3 Alabama picks we picked in the first round. Henry Ruggs, Josh Jacobs, and Leatherwood. And they're not bad picks. They're not bad picks.
No, Leatherwood, everybody's busting on him oh, he's a bust. Well, you said that about Colton Miller 3 years ago, and now you're preaching that he should be in the damn Pro Bowl. Lighten up, man. It takes a tackle 2 to 3 years to adapt. Get over it. Stop whining. We're playing old school Raiders football, although in the first half, we got to correct that problem. Otherwise, no, man, we're good. If in the next quarter, 4 games, if we do 3-1 again, we're 6-2. If we do it again, we're 9-3. We do it again, we're 12-4. And if overtime we fail against the Chargers, we're still 12-5. Dude, lighten up. We're going to the playoffs. And we're going to run deep. You guys need to get over this crap and just understand. We've gotten better. We're playing old school Raiders football. We need to get better in this first half. Yes, I get it. But otherwise, we're good. And these Raiders fans, these young Raiders fans need to understand. Stop pushing the panic button so damn early.
Okay. Hey, G got you. Ladies, who wants to take it next?
The question was, when is Mayock going to be held accountable for these draft picks? And the answer is, whether he deserves it or not, he is going to be held accountable for it at the end of this year. They need to go deep in the playoffs. Otherwise, he's on the hot seat. And I'm not saying that I agree with that, but I'm saying that's the way that it is. It's, there's going to have to be a fall guy if we don't make it deep into the playoffs, and he's going to be the one selected.
Okay. Angria, is Jack going to let you answer? Or
Jack is in agreement. Well, I think to blame Mike Mayock for failures in draft is to fail to look at 2 of the best players on our team right now that were acquired in the 4th and 5th round. Putting an entire one person under the microscope for an entire plethora of players is it's kind of ridiculous if you only discount you discount the good ones and you only count the bad ones. So sorry, I'm being smacked in the face. What was I trying to say? Well, one, like Jack said, there's no manager, there's no GM, there's no head coach that drafts perfectly all the time. 2, that's ridiculous to even think that would happen. Because you have, well, at the very least, 7 picks every year, right? 7 picks to screw up. That's the very least you have, right? And we get a lot more than that. So it's kind of cool. We get to do that. But the fact that we can pick up 2 stellar performers that low, long term, that gives us both cap savings and it gives us, stop it. Gives me a pit bull trying to eat diapers. Sorry, it's gross. And it also gives us the ability to find other players that in free agency, which we've been able to do. So you can build around players that, who cares if they're first round draft picks? I've never believed in a draft to begin with. I think it's the dumbest waste of like a lottery you could possibly do, because that's really all it is. It's a lottery. You're guessing, will this guy fit in here? Sure. He looks really good right now, but put him in under Tom Cable and see if he does well. Well, he might not. He probably will, probably won't. Who knows? It could be. It doesn't matter. I think it's I don't know. I've just never been a big proponent of the draft. I can't really think very well right now. I apologize. But to say that Gruden's going to be held accountable is ridiculous. He's not going to be. He's a 10-year coach. He's making $100 million. He's going to do whatever he needs to do to get this team to the playoffs, sans looking at his own issues with play calling at the moment. But he is letting go of that gas pedal a little bit, and he's giving a little bit more of the reins to Carr. So that's really helpful this year. Mike Mayock, you're going to have to defer to Heidi on that one, because she's going to know better than I will. I don't think he should be held accountable for picking some pretty damn good players as far as I'm concerned. Once you pick them, then it goes to the coaches. If you can't coach them, that's on the coaches. So,
All right, Steve.
playoffs, here we come.
Answer your question, Steve. And by the way, yeah, I do agree with you that Gruden's play calling is predictable. I think we all banged the drum on that. We're all in agreement for it. But when it worked for you for 3 games and they're W's, what are you going to say? You know, it's a matter of execution. Make sure that you execute the plays that are in front of you. This last game, we couldn't run, and we lost.
Okay, let me put a point out here. Last game, and I don't know, maybe I wasn't counting the plays or whatever, but last game it seemed like a lot more of what he wanted to do was running. We did not take the shots downfield that we had the previous 3 games. John Gruden was relying way too much on 32nd ranked running defense. Well, that didn't do us any favors, and it didn't do us any good. So they probably realized that we were going to run a lot of the ball. We had 3 very good runners on our team at the moment. Josh Jacobs was coming back. We're all excited, even though he should not have been on that field as far as I'm concerned. Peyton Barber had just come off a 100-yard game. I swear to God, all of those were in the last 5 minutes of overtime. I swear to God, that's what happened. I'm sticking to that story. And then Kenyon Drake can be used in the running game as much as he needs to be, but he's been mostly what is that? Catching out of the backfield. Sorry. My son's over here having a freak out moment.
Yeah, he's
but
more of a snap back, receiving back. Yeah.
He's not. He's a very good receiving back, which is a big thing that the Raiders do. We always have been and always will be. Very good at passing in the backfield. But to this game, they knew what we were bringing to the table, and they game planned for it well, better than we did.
He's absolutely right. I like to pick arguments with her, but she's right.
It's just it's all love. That's why.
She's a fun one to poke every once in a while.
Just ask Heidi.
Poke the bear.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to speak up because they're talking about the JR Sports Show. What did you say?
I called the JR Sports Show last night, and you won't find a bigger Derek Carr fan as myself. He's putting up all kinds of numbers, and he's already pushing him off the stage. And he said, "You know what? Mahomes and Herbert is going to be the rivalry from here on out in the AFC West. It's not going to be Derek Carr anymore. Derek Carr is on the sunset, and this is the future of the AFC West. Are these 2 quarterbacks? What does Derek Carr have to do to prove these people wrong? That's the part that upsets me. He's playing his butt off. He's been even better than 2016. What say you?"
I will say this, and I will. Thanks for the call, Steve. I'm gonna take this off air, as they say. Appreciate you calling in, brother.
Mahomes is garbage.
Go short.
All right, you got it. That was Raider Steve. You say, what does he need to do? First off, the Raiders need to get to the playoffs. That's one thing that Derek Carr needs to do. And the fact is, Derek Carr got us to the playoffs in 2016, and I firmly believe that. without Derek Carr's performance in 2016, we wouldn't have been in those playoffs. The unfortunate thing is that he got injured and he wasn't able to lead us into the playoffs. The Raiders need to go to the playoffs. Derek Carr needs to win at least 2 games for people to stop being such crank asses about Derek Carr. And I firmly believe that the Raiders need to win at least 2 games this year in order to get the heat off of Derek Carr, Mike Mayock, and even John Gruden. So that's the answer to that question. There you go on that, folks. We are up at the top of the hour, ladies. It's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Obviously, OG being the lady in this conversation as well. And yes, I will gladly take the F words out at 112, 113, and 2 at 1.
Mahomes ain't all that. Sorry, he's not all that.
Yeah, but and agree. I think that you are seeing the Chiefs not play as well as they can because people have figured out the Chiefs as well, and they're not playing well.
Whose plan do they follow?
Well, okay, and Frank Clark is not playing well. The Chiefs as a whole are not playing up to par. So I think that we have seen, I think that, like I said, I will say this: I firmly believe that the Raiders can take both games if they play up to our capabilities that we saw during the first 3 games. That's what I will say. Ladies, I'm going to put myself on mute. Go ahead and take out with your last thoughts, and you can go in no particular order and go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll go first. My final thoughts are what I've already said. We can't overlook the Bears. It's a game we should win. It's a game that we should dominate, but we can't overlook them. And by we, of course, I mean the Raiders. We are the better team, but I agree with Andrea. Last night, the Chargers were the better team. The Chargers did win. We were woefully unprepared, and we need to learn from that and take from that and apply that to the Bears game and the Broncos game. We need to be prepared. We can't overlook them. And let's go punch them in the mouth and get started. And hopefully Alex Leatherwood will settle in. I have no doubt that he's going to be a good pro. He is going to be successful, whether it's as a guard or as a tackle remains to be seen. But I think that he will get it. And it is going to take time. Colton Miller had a rough rookie year. And a big part of it was because he was so injured. But he's developed into one of the better left tackles in the league. And Leatherwood definitely has the ability to develop into one of the better right guards or right tackles in the league. So it's just going to take time. But for right now, take every week by week, day by day, week by week, and just go out there and just win, baby.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and do our 2 minutes here. Somebody wants to do a clap. Clap. We're teething still, so fussy butt. Heidi's exactly right. These next 4 games, we need to take this time that should be easy wins for us and game plan and scheme and try things that need to be tried and say, okay, we know here's our deficiency. Let's do something else on this part to see if that works for us better. Practice is great, but it's not going to beat in-game experience, period. It's time to look at what other things can work against lesser teams so that when we go up against a team like the Chargers again, we will not get kicked in the face like we did now. We will not get, what do you want, more? more. You want more milk? He wants more something. So, but the bottom line is we should win these games. They should be easy enough, but we need to take this time to figure out what's not working against bigger and better teams, and utilize that so that down the stretch, when we do come up to that Thanksgiving Day game, which is going to be hard, it's going to be tough. Cowboys are not messing around right now. And when we do come up to the Chiefs, and when we do come up to all of our division games, which are always hard and they're always going to be hard, that we don't make the same mistakes we did last night. Go Raiders! Just win, baby. Just win, baby.
All right, OG, you got the last. And by the way, I've made my and for choices, Jack Kenna, Mike Sarah for making me obviously explode tonight has to be most valuable crewman to get me to explode on him. So that he's in there. Sean Johnson with the comment that I was reading through as well. So those are my MVCs. If there's anybody that you think that I'm missing, go ahead and give them to me. But OG, it's on you, brother, as to the last comments as well.
Okay. The next 4 games are the easiest games of our schedule. We're going to look like golden sunshine. We're probably going to have to get smacked by the Chiefs in the face. Or somebody else, and maybe in November, the Cowboys, the Cowgirls. We're going to have to take another humbling session. I don't want to, but I think it'll be due at that time. Look, we're good. We're going to the playoffs. True story. We get smacked in the mouth by the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. I really don't want to deal with that because I got a lot of friends that are Cowboys fans that are going to friggin' trash me. But we're going to get on a run. Get on a rampage. At some point, we're going to smack in the mouth one more time. After that, we'll fight the fight. But I see us going on a deep run in the playoffs. Do we win the Super Bowl? I don't see that yet. But good things coming. Good things coming.
Well, I want to say thank you to my wenches, and that includes Peggy, which obviously we get a chance to get with her for an hour, and then we swap out with the OG Daniel. Thank you for being here as well, shipmate. Obviously, Heidi, congratulations on your win on the treasure chest of prizes. Remember, every time that you give a $5 donation, and I got 2 donations tonight from Vicky, so that was 2 more entries. And Vicky's going to get it one of these days because of all of the entries that she's given. I will update that. We will do a drawing for the most valuable crewman for the last 2 months. We are in October, and I've already, like I said, I've gotten out for tonight. Jack Kenna, Mike Sarah, and Sean Johnson. Final thoughts. And I will say this, and we didn't even touch upon it, but I think it was important. The fact that the referees took away that first down in the first half on what was supposed to be irrefutable evidence on that one play that the Chargers threw the challenge flag on. I'm sorry. I really thought that we had the first down, even with the looking at it. Yeah, the shoulder was down, but I knew that the ball was over there. That was a very important play. And we had to we would have had a first down, and we could have ran some more plays and flipped the field, even at worst flipped the field. It was 14-0 at the time. We ended up punting, and then to get that last touchdown, that was a key mark in the game. And it was, and I tell you what, the one thing I like about Ref Guru, and we'll have our show tomorrow night as well, is that you only draw one official. You like each official you get, you usually only draw them once in the regular season. And I'm glad we got rid of that knucklehead for the rest of the year because his crew sucked. His crew sucked. So I'm glad.
Well, can I just, I'm going to put my 2 cents in there, Captain. I'm sorry. He wasn't even on the ground. He was on the dude. The ball was on the ground. His knee was on the dude. I don't care what anybody says. I looked at that thing 10 times. Josh Jacobs was on the dude.
It was the first down.
Yeah, it was the first down. No question. And friggin' Hussey, Mr. John Hussey, take your Hussey ass somewhere else.
I agree. John Hussey is almost like Tony Corrente. He is the second worst official of all of the. And the reason why I know these names now is because I listened to Ref Guru. When Ref Guru does the show, be sure to join us tomorrow night on the NFL Nation Live channel. It'll be myself, Ref Guru, and Violator. And again, I'm seeing a wave from Angria. Thank you for being here, sweetheart. And Jack, happy birthday. I know Jack just celebrated his second birthday. So happy belated birthday to Jack. And there you go there, shipmate. We love you. And we know how special you are because your mom is special too.
Who's the scumbag that threw a flag on Darren Waller on taunting when he just spiked a ball after a great catch? What kind of garbage was that?
Well, it was a crappy call. Like I said, his crew sucked. It wasn't necessarily Corrente, or not Corrente, but Hussey, but it's one of his guys, and his crew sucks. And that's why I'm glad to say that at least in the regular season, according to the way that they normally go with the amount of crews that they have and the teams, that normally you won't draw the same ref and crew twice in 1 year.
Good, because that was a garbage call.
Yeah, I tell you what, I agree. I agree.
All right, Captain, I need to head on out of here. I got to go babysit a little guy pretty soon.
And you, like I said, always great. Heidi, you'll have to give me your address so I can send. Eventually, when I get the proverbial round to it, you will get your prize. You know
all right, thank you very much.
What it is? I just got to get it out of the treasure chest of prizes, but it's yours. So we will get that to you. Congratulations, Daniel. Always a pleasure, shipmate. You know, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate everybody being here, and I appreciate all the viewers being here. Make sure you join me and Violator and Ref Guru tomorrow night on the NFL Nation Live channel. That is on YouTube. Make sure you are listening to the Only Nation podcast. See, I got it for you there, Heidi. I don't forget.
Great show, man. You got perspectives that most channels don't have. Dude, that's an awesome show.
There you go. And again, and make sure you're listening to it. And again, we will be back on Thursday for You Don't Know Jack About Sports. And then Friday, I will be in Vegas. And I will see up close and personal, not in my seats because I actually sold my 2 seats for the Bears game, and I got a single over in the black hole somewhere. But I will be out in Vegas for the game. Can't wait to see a hopeful destruction of the Chicago Little Cubs. And we can have a better talk the next time for the Sunday show. Ask Captain Jack. Folks, it's always a pleasure. Again, Heidi, I know you got to go. Thank you, hon. Daniel, again, thank you, sir. And for all the people here, get those and keep watching. We appreciate everybody. Y'all take care. We'll see you on the next show.
You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.